Hey guys, back with a quick video. This is what I would say is my phase 1 equipment. This should get me to where I have some fish in the tank, start nutrients building up, and then there's a couple of important things I still need to get, one being a skimmer. So I'll spread that out and get that as I get fish in the tank and wait till we get some LPS or some easygoing corals in there. And then I'll need some dosing pumps. But I wanted to give a rundown of what I've gotten so far, where I'm at cost-wise, so what on top of that, what the tank and stand has cost, how much am I into this, and what does it take to kind of get a tank up and running from scratch. I didn't keep anything from prior tanks, so I'm starting fresh on everything. So the first thing I've gotten here is this Ring stick-up camera, and this just provides some peace of mind while you're on vacation. Or if you got kids in the basement playing and something crazy happens and you want to keep an eye on things, it's always nice to have a camera so you can check things out, make sure water isn't leaking all over the floor or whatever that may be. So that's the first thing I actually got, is just a stick-up Ring camera to throw up there in the corner so I can keep an eye on things while I'm not around at home or if I'm on vacation or stuff like that. The next big item I got here is this light fixture, and this is a Geisman, I don't know. It's a pretty sleek looking light fixture. It's got two metal halide bulbs in it, single end, 250 watt. You can run 400 watts in here if you have the ballast. And then I got 4 T5s. I bought this used. I found a white one, so I was super excited. I think it's Polar Ice. These fixtures are super rare. I had one before. They're hard to find. And yeah, LEDs have taken over. So I'm going old school on this tank. I really love metal halide. I love the natural shimmer it gives. And the heat I'm not too worried about. I'm in the basement. In this home, this tank is in the basement. It's much cooler down here. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Right here I just picked up a couple Hamilton 14K metal halide single end bulbs, 250 watt. I have these ballasts that came with the fixture. These are Reef Bright 250 watt ballasts. So I can't run my radium bulbs I wish I could run. I need to find magnetic ballasts, and from what I'm reading, you can't find the M80s anymore. But I'm hearing, I got the 14K Hamilton bulbs in the fixture that came with it where I bought it used. The previous individual has 20K Hamilton bulbs in there. So we're going to see how these look, and I'm going to keep an eye out for some old ballasts if I can. And we'll see how long this light lasts me. You know, maybe bulbs won't be available soon, and so we'll see. But I'm pretty excited about how this is going to go, and hopefully it'll color up the corals really well, and I'll get some good growth. If folks have ideas on metal halide bulbs that would look like a radium with just running a basic electronic 250 watt ballast, please comment, let me know. The T5s I plan just to run ATI blue pluses. I think what the guy has in there now is 3 blue pluses and a purple plus. Okay, just a few things over here. Dr. Tim's. Let's see if I can focus this puppy. This is just Dr. Tim's ammonium chloride solution. I'm dosing that to the tank. It's better than a stinky, rotten piece of shrimp in your tank, and I'm not doing bacteria. There's no rush for me. Just to even get this light fixture hung is going to take me some time, so I'm just dosing the tank with that for the cycle, taking my time. Picked up some carbon, just a little bit. I don't always run a lot, just to have it on hand. I'll probably run some right before I add my first kind of fish or something that is actually alive in this tank. Picked up a probe holder off Amazon, just something I just found. It was easy to order. I've got an Apex EL. This hasn't been opened yet. I think the replacement for this, or the newer model, is the A3. So this doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but it's enough to control my lights turning on and off, my heaters, and we'll see how much heat there is, but I might need to have it control a fan. And then obviously down the road a couple of dosing pumps. I'll just dose 2-part is the plan. Just some tubing, it's nice to have, some socks I picked up, some pellets, you know, you got to feed the fish. Had to buy some pellets. I've got a flipper, scraper, magnetic glass cleaner here. I've had a few different kinds of these, so I just picked that up off of Amazon. I've got 2 MP40s. I picked these up used, but they only have about a year of use on them. And so I was feeling okay with that. If you get really old ones, they can be pretty loud. You have to replace the wet side, stuff like that. So I'm feeling pretty good about these, so we'll see how it goes. 5-stage, I think, RODI unit I picked up. Already been in heavy use just to get this tank filled. It took me probably 3 days to get this sucker filled up with water. Auto top off. I've got a Tunzi. I guess that's how you say it. I've used this one in the past. I was debating on whether to get the Neptune auto top off, but there were some poor reviews on that. And I've used this one in the past. I'll probably pick up a spare pump, water pump, just to kind of have on hand in case it goes out. But we'll get that set up shortly because the auto top off in this tank is gravity fed. It's a small tank. I'm not running anything but a heater and no lights, no real evaporation, and after about 3 or 4 days I have to refill it, so it's a little annoying. So that'll come in handy. Right here, this glass tank, this is an Innovative Marine Reservoir. That's pretty sweet. I think it holds 15 gallons. It has a little pull out here so I can pour water in. So this will be the reservoir I use with that auto top off system. I'm going to put it over here on the side, probably in some kind of cabinet. Maybe I'll just pick something up from IKEA just to protect it and keep it kind of out of sight, and so I'll throw that in there. Clearly a couple fish nets, you got to have those. This shoot, alright, little blooper there, the RODI system fell over. So I got a, I don't know what you call these, just gravel back or something, just something to use. I can take water out of the tank really easy and throw it in a bucket during water changes, or if I have to do something kind of quickly where I need to drain the tank down. It's always good to have something like that. Salt, I bought 150 gallons worth of salt. I'm already through half of it, as you can see, just to get this tank set up, so I'm going to need more, but you got to have salt to set up. My return pump is a CK or CK, I don't know how to pronounce that. Again, notice most of my equipment's kind of middle of the line. I don't have super fancy stuff, but I also try to get stuff that's pretty reliable. So that's a return pump for this tank that I'm going with. It's always good to have a Maxi Jet, small water changes, pumping water in and out of the tank or sump, mixing water, whatever. These are good to have on hand. For the rock, so I did some shelf pieces, some various boulders of Marco rock and stuff like that, and I super glued them together first, and then the next day I used this what's it called, Marco 400, some kind of, it's like a cement stuff, if you will, and to be honest, it wasn't easy to use. You have to mix it a little at a time, or else if you mix too much at a time it just starts drying up too much too quickly. But I hope that'll keep the rocks stable long term and keep those little shelf pieces. In the end, these rocks are going to be covered, but you know, it's kind of nice. I put in some time to actually make them look good, I guess. And then clearly some glue here and some kind of accelerant or accelerator to get that glue to dry real quick. So it was actually not too bad building these rock pieces. I had to also pick up a refractometer so I could check salinity. I also picked up this Red Sea net / cover, and I can't say I can recommend it. I mean, I guess if you're super good at DIY stuff, I tried to get this net tight, and the harder I tried, it seemed to tear quite easily, and it's like sagging down. But within a couple days, my son had shot darts into the tank. So this was purchased to keep the darts out, but keep the fish in. But it was a failure. So I put some thought into this, did some research, and I actually found, I think, a pretty high quality lid. I've ordered it. When it comes in, I'll do a quick video on it and a review. But I hope it's a little bit better quality than this, and it doesn't require me to build any part of it. Up on here, on top of the auto top-off reservoir, I got a 300 watt titanium heater. I'm going to run that with the Apex. I actually have a 200 watt already in the tank. I like to have two kind of supporting each other, and if one goes out, I'm okay. So I got those. I got ammonia test kit, nitrate test kit to kind of see how the cycle goes. I got some prime. The reason I got prime is when I rinsed the sand, I just used tap water. I wasn't about to use RODI. I don't have that kind of patience. I just used tap water. So there may be some chlorine or something in this water, so I'm going to dose a little bit of prime in this tank eventually. Just maybe it works, just to give me some peace of mind. I don't know how much, the sand was wet from the rinsing, so I didn't do a final rinse with RODI, I just threw it in. So I could have a little bit of problems with the sand, but we'll see if the prime helps me out. So that's it. That's the equipment, and let's get it set up and go from there. Thanks, guys. Peace out and have a good week.